Now, why would I do that? Why would I destroy the village where we started? The village that looked over our kingdom for so long? Well, from the very first time I saw this seed, I had a vision for this mountain. And for those of you that have been keeping up with the channel, you would know that Common Ground is starting very soon. And I want to leave the Forever World off on a good spot since I will be putting a lot of energy into Common Ground at launch. That said, I've always envisioned this mountain to house a mega build. What kind of mega build? Also peep the skin. Give you a quick look at it. Let's get organized a little bit here. What kind of mega build? Well, a castle. Every kingdom needs a castle, right? The mountain is obviously a point to draw your eye, and we're surrounded by these mountains. So we have our points of interest up here. We have our point of interest up here. And then in the back, we kind of have this smaller hill, but we still have a point of interest. The village, though interesting, kind of ugly, kind of segmented, not exactly what I envisioned for this area. So that is why we are going to clear that out even more, actually. We have a lot of terraforming to do, and that's all we'll be accomplishing today, is a bunch of terraforming to kind of set a canvas for our mega build. Clearing out that village gave me a bunch of random items and things. Things I didn't really need, but, you know, why not pick them up? I would say free materials, but not quite. I did have to collect them, but those villagers were also generous. To be honest, those villagers actually weren't even there. Nobody remained. Isn't that crazy? We had so many there in the beginning, and now we've got none. Absolutely none. I've got even more cleaning up I've got to do over here. Got a few shulker boxes. My shulker boxes are all out. Oh man, we left this place in disarray. Got a little bit of spring cleaning to do, but we're going to save that for a couple episodes. Like I said, today we'll be getting the terraforming in place, all the landscape. Next week, we'll be working on a little bit of the structure. I doubt we're going to finish the whole thing, but we're at least going to get the bones in place. And then the following week, we're going to do a relaxing long play where I go around, tidy things up around the world. So we're taking a moment to kind of not necessarily leave it, but since we won't be here for a couple weeks at least, we want it to at least be cleaned up a little bit. So when we come back, we have a nice, beautiful area to work with. Nothing to worry about, nothing hanging over our head or anything like that. So that is the plan. That is your insight into some coming episodes. Now let's talk about today. Castle, as I talked about before, will go here. But in reality, we have to take out all of this area. We're going to clear this entire area and level it down to that Y level right there. Now for the mountain itself, we will have to do some shaving, not too bad, but we are going to create kind of a terrace here, a raised cliff that is similar to these, has a slightly different look, but it will act as the base for our castle. It was really difficult to get the scale right on this one. The mountain itself is big, but I wanted the castle to be really big. So the way the spires work out, it kind of frames this a little bit. So the peak is still visible. That's the one thing I didn't want to cover up. The rest of the mountain is kind of fine. The terraforming that we're going to do will sort of accentuate the castle itself. I wanted to clear it in a way that still made the mountain look grand, but allowed you to really understand the full size of the castle itself. And like I said, this castle probably won't be done in a week or two, probably not even 3 or 4. We're going to take it step by step. I don't want to rush it. I want it to be something really grand. The Midnight Athenium over there is something that kind of has inspired what I want to do for the castle. I think it was about 30,000 blocks. I'm imagining the castle itself will be near maybe 70,000, maybe upwards of 100. I don't know yet. I haven't fully planned it out. I know the cliffs are going to take a lot of stone and andesite and things. So that's one of the things we need to do today is start collecting that. And you know what? Instead of me clearing grass right now, maybe that's a better use of our time. So I'm going to take a look to see what we have in stock, and then we can go on a little trip to start gathering some materials. We need about 40 stacks of andesite and about 64 stacks of gravel. Everything else is kind of like stone, cobblestone. I know we've got what we need for that. We have moss as well. We've got a ton of moss. Where do we stand? Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. What about gravel? Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. We've got a lot to collect. That's okay, though. Let's get to it. Grab a shulker box. See what we can do. We might have some stored down here. Why don't we start by taking a look? Maybe there's something. All right, let's check this forgotten chest. A little bit of gravel. That's a start. And a little bit of andesite, too. Okay. Can't be mad at that. Let's start a gravel chest here, and we'll just keep the andesite in the inventory. And we've got more gravel down here as well. And thankfully, we've got a silk touch shovel. So no loss of any gravel to become flint. The hardest part about collecting those two materials is just finding them. But you know what? Something I often forget is you can actually craft andesite. What is the recipe? Diorite and cobblestone. Okay. That's something I don't think I've ever done. So I know we can grab some diorite. I actually don't know how much we have. Why don't we go check that out real quick? None in there. I'm getting really tired of like having to float down that hole, so that should do it. Hopefully. That would be a bad place to die. All right, let's take a look at our diorite storage here. And not much better, but you know, we can do something with it at least. I saw plenty of diorite down there, so why don't we collect some of that as well? Because we've got cobble galore. That could be easier than, and that might be easier than finding a bunch of andesite, but we'll mix and match. Before I go back to doing that, one thing I want to ask, I'm considering a few little changes to the videos for the Common Ground series. I think I've learned a lot as I've gotten back into this, and I've really kind of honed in on my style, but I've also think I've gotten a little comfortable creating the videos that I do. So I want to switch them up just a little bit. With that includes just more time put into the intros to the videos and the story that I'm telling throughout. I'm hoping to capture that in Common Ground. But one thing that I'm not too sure about that I would love to hear your opinion on. You see me use shaders in my time lapses and my ending shots, and sometimes my intros as well. But what do you think? Do you like it when somebody plays with shaders? Do you prefer that? I'm such an old school Minecraft player that I so rarely use shaders, but I'm not opposed to it. So let me know in the comments. Do you prefer watching a video with somebody playing with shaders on? Or do you just prefer the vanilla look with shaders here and there for cinematic shots? Let me know. I want to take your feedback into consideration as I start doing this. But it does make things look beautiful, doesn't it? Like that shot right there. So far, I've gotten a lot of andesite, and I've been looking around for gravel. I've got a few stacks in that shulker box and a few more that I've already put into storage. We definitely need a little bit more, at least a half a shulker box more. But I'm getting kind of sick of mining, at least searching for gravel. So instead, I think we're going to take a quick detour and terraform a little bit. At least take down this part of the mountain where we're going to start building our cliffs. I think that is the right spot to go to, at least for now. We've got all the andesite, we have all the cobble, all the stone, all the moss. We have probably 75% of the gravel we need. So who knows? We might uncover some gravel while we tear this down. But I need to get a beacon set up, and then we will be able to start mining this down and hopefully ending up with a clean slate so we can get this build going. But let's grab the ender chest, let's put a beacon together, and let's start mining. Well, it doesn't look like a whole lot of progress, but I assure you, plenty of progress was made. We got this all flattened out, evened out a bit. This will probably, I might clear that out too, to be honest, but this at least will give us a blank slate. The actual terrain is going to kind of encompass this area, so all of this back here, we don't really have to worry about. To be honest, we probably could have left most of the village up there. But I don't know, it felt wrong to leave that empty village when we're going to have something even better in front of it. But as I'm recording this, yesterday was the launch of Common Ground, and we had a great time playing. I'm itching to get back on right now, but we have a task to complete, and we do not leave tasks unfinished. No, 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 sir. So, with that said, also, yes, there are 2 houses down here. I'm going to leave them. I think they're special because they generated in such a weird spot. Anyway, we've got a big, big landscape to make now. And once you see this landscape built, kind of get my vision, but the idea is the castle will sit on a plateau and the spires will kind of frame the peak of the mountain. I have a feeling it's going to look really cool, but I have only placed the bones. So truly, I do not have any design for the castle outside of like what its shape should be. But that's okay. I think as we get the plateau in, we'll be able to visualize it a lot better in the world. Feels nice to be able to fly around again and to have netherite tools. Yesterday I spent a solid 20 minutes stuck in a cave because my last iron pick broke and I didn't bring any wood with me, and yeah, I'm not ready to go back to having nothing, but it's nice to jump into this world every once in a while, and it's nice to go back to having nothing. A little reset never hurt anybody. But all the creators over there are so amazing. They've been so inspiring, so fun to talk to. We've really put together a great group, so I hope you check it out. First videos will drop in a couple weeks, first week of June to be exact. And I think it's going to be really exciting. But in the meantime, myself, along with a few other creators on the server, will be streaming Common Ground. So check out the website, which I will try to remember to put in the description. It shows a little notification when somebody is live, which is super cool. I hope you like the website. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that thing. But it gives a lot of cool information. It's very exciting that we have something so useful for our team. But yes, if you can't wait till June for Common Ground, check out the streams, check out some of the channels. I will hopefully be finishing up my hardcore streams this week, knock on wood, but we're further than we've ever been. I know I said that last week, but I'm not lying. We are further than we've ever been, and we are in good shape. And I'm being very, very careful. So anyway, okay, I've been yapping enough. Let's clear out the rest of this beacon, and then let's jump into a nice time lapse of this big terrain build. Think of me while you're watching it, because this is going to take a long time. So let's get started. Well, that was no easy task, but we've got something to work with. We have a nice flat area up here. It'll be a nice stage for our build. I just put grass up here for now. I don't really know how much of this will be covered, how much of it won't be. Once we do know that, we'll texture it a little bit more, maybe with some moss and gravel and stone and things. But all in all, it got us where we need. Once we progress on this a little bit more, we're actually going to be taking, probably like from here over down. And there will be more terrain being built up the sides to kind of connect it all together. There's a lot more to do on this project, but it's a mega build, so one thing at a time. Before I end today's episode, there's a couple of housekeeping things that we need to do that I've been slacking on. And one of those things is updating this map. We didn't update our village, I don't think. Where are we? We're right here. Our home is right here. Yeah, our village should be right there. We didn't update that. So we need to get that figured out. We also will obviously need to update what we just did right here. And then we also have, I think, 2 commenter trees that we need to add in. I believe I missed a couple weeks, so we'll add 2, one from last week's video and one from our video 2 weeks ago. Don't want to leave anyone out. So with that, let's grab a map and we'll start there. Okay, we got part of the map updated here, but it looks like we need, what do we need? This one as well? Let's see. Should update right when we get about here. Perfect. Okay, easy enough. Then we've got one more to do for right in front of our house there for our little village. Let's get this one put back. Nope. Here we go. Very cool. And then we need this one. There we go. I think I was a little off on the last prediction of that map. There we go. Our little village is added. Simple as that. And I think, pretty sure we added our silo when we built it, right? Yeah. Whoops. Okay, all looking good. I believe this is the most updated version. Everything looks like it's there at first glance. Things are coming together. I realized these custom trees up here don't have any signs on them. And these are really pretty. They deserve to be dedicated to some of our viewers. So let's do one on this tree here. And this one will go to Jam Jar God, new viewer of the channel. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you very, very much. And one more over on this tree. And this one goes to Woda Sheep. That was on our introduction video that we made last week. We got so much good feedback on that one. Super proud of what we ended up with there. All right, with that said, I think we have done just about everything we need to do in today's episode. And it was a lot. Clearing out all that space, filling in all that grass. I see more that I probably could fill as well. But for what it's worth, I think we've got a good start here. Like I said, this was just to make a canvas for a much bigger build, which will come in the future. But I like the way it turned out. It matches our cliffs all around, just on a much bigger and grander scale. Covers a big area as well. So taking a look back at me, as I mentioned earlier, I'm in my common ground skin because we have started recording, which is so fun. Videos will be out for that in a couple weeks. I'll keep you all updated in the Discord and on the channel. But I hope you enjoyed this one. The Forever World is still getting some love as we move on to common ground. And the Forever World, as I said before, I'll say it again, will always be here. We'll always come back to it. I had a lot of fun doing this one. It's a little weird to add a project that isn't 100% finished. It's just kind of like the start of it, but I think it turned out nicely. And in the end, it'll add a lot to our world once this whole build is finished. So I think that's that. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you next week with a new episode. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. Until next time.